Your YouTube channel is Why? Because every single day, thousands of new YouTubers are joining the platform, focusing on making better content and improving their production value. And if you're not doing these things, you are falling behind. But why is it that some people are able to break through the competition and get their first 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 subscribers in only a few months? Just like this channel that went from 0 to 10,000 subscribers in only 90 days. It's because they all follow a process that allows them to know exactly what they did wrong on each video they post. So in the next video, they can fix it and constantly improve their videos. And once you understand it, you will be able to break through 99% of YouTubers and blow up your channel fast. Just like I did with Joel Kaplan's YouTube channel, where I took him from 5,000 subscribers to 250,000 in only 12 months. And now I'm on a mission to take you and over 1,000 other people to their first 100,000 subscribers, completely for free. Now, we all know the feeling of putting a ton of effort into a piece of content and then it flops. But this is where the YouTube feedback loop starts. And once you understand it, you'll start waking up with your YouTube dashboard looking like this. Because you are constantly improving, which makes it almost impossible to fail. Then you can finally get out of small channel hell and start making YouTube your part-time or full-time career. So the first thing to look at when a video flops is the idea itself. You want to ask yourself, is the idea actually big enough to get views? For example, a video about where to buy chocolate in Nebraska is going to perform much worse than a video about where to buy chocolate in America, even if they are the exact same quality video. There's simply just more people available to watch the America video. But if your idea already has a big total addressable market, or TAM, you need to ask yourself whether or not the audience even cares about the idea. If you make the video about chocolate, but your YouTube channel is about coffee, then that is probably the reason why the video did not perform well. You should constantly be asking yourself the question, would my audience find this interesting? But if you know that your audience wants to watch that video, it's time to go on to step 2 of the feedback loop. And to be honest, this is where most people mess up. It's your packaging, title, and thumbnail. Now, every good idea that you have that doesn't get views can almost always be linked back to this. But it does not mean that your thumbnails and titles are just bad. If that was the case, then why would thumbnails like this, and this get hundreds of thousands and millions of views? You don't have bad titles and thumbnails. They just don't hook in your audience. Let me explain.
It's all about the psychology of a viewer. So let's say that you have a viewer who likes horses. So we'll go ahead and draw a horse. This viewer loves horses and she's really passionate about watching horse content. You know, she rides horses in her free time. She just loves them. So we can make a video titled "The Downfall of Natural Horses," which would hit on a fear. That's something that she cares about dearly, and that's a video that she would definitely want to watch because she'd want to know what would happen if horses disappeared. So we could have the downfall of horses, and then what we could do to capture her attention even more is make a thumbnail. Now we have a thumbnail with a horse that looks, you know, we can maybe make it a little bit orange, make it like some sort of weird color, and then have it be like fake. Or we could just do a normal horse with maybe some cool pattern, call it fake. Now that's gonna increase her curiosity. Let's say we have the downfall of natural horses here. And because she cares so much about horses, it's a very easy click for us to get. Now, this very simple thumbnail with simply a horse and the word fake is much more powerful than some sort of really well-designed thumbnail that, you know, someone literally drew a horse from scratch to make it look super professional, super engaging, really good designs. If we just have a simple image of a normal horse here with the word fake, it's gonna be so much more effective because it increases the curiosity, and that's exactly what you need to think about with your thumbnails. Why does the viewer need to click on your videos? This girl wants to find out what's going to happen to her horses. Your video is going to tell her. Now, obviously you wanna talk about positive things as well. You don't just wanna keep it completely negative, but negative stimuli gets the click. And that's just how it is. I mean, you look at the news, you look at mass media, 95% of the content is negative. Wars, politics, crimes, murders, like all of these things rise to the front page because what's the goal of a news station is to get you to click. And it's the same thing on YouTube. Your actual message can be very positive. Like, we could essentially reassure this girl that horses are not gonna go away. You can have a very positive message in your video, and you can even have positive packaging to your video too. It's not a deal breaker at all, but typically humans respond better to negative stimuli. And if you're purely an education channel, you can definitely do this, but there's actually a little bit of a better strategy. So let's get rid of the horse example and let's move on to an educational example. Let's say that someone wants to make money. We have this viewer right here. He wants to get rich. Now, with an educational thumbnail, we want to tailor the packaging around his dream outcome. So let's say that this guy's dream outcome is making his first $10,000. Let's say that he is currently broke and he is trying to figure out how to make his first $10,000 online. Now, how can we show that? Maybe a title that we could do is, "This seems dumb, but it makes $10,000 guaranteed." Now we're not only hitting on his dream outcome, but we're also creating curiosity. So this is where packaging can become really, really powerful. This seems dumb, but it makes you $10,000 guaranteed. So we'll have the title down here. I'm not gonna write it out, but we could do something like this, where $10,000 in 30 days, and it could just be the person speaker right there. That is a good thumbnail. That is a very good quality thumbnail that shows the dream outcome clearly. This thumbnail combination combined with this title is going to actually perform really well. If one of you guys wants to take that for your own channel, feel free to.
It all comes back to what triggers your audience. And you can see whether or not this is the problem by looking at your CTR or click-through rate. If it is above your channel's average, then it is not the problem. So we have to dive deeper into our analytics and take a look at our retention. And there is a way to read your retention graphs that 99% of small YouTubers have never heard of. And it holds them back from improving their videos because they simply don't know where to look. They don't know where they mess up and they don't know when their audience clicks off. But I can tell you right now, Mr. Beast, Iman Gachi, and Alex Hormozi all know exactly when the viewer leaves. And it allows them to cut out that section next time to increase their watch time on every single video until they get so good that viewers will stay around no matter what. And it all starts with this one strategy.
This is a retention graph, and you've probably looked at this graph and thought, what does it mean? Or you've simply never seen it at all. And if that's the case, go to YouTube Studio, click on content, go to analytics on one of your videos, and go to audience retention, and go to engagement. This is what shows us where we can improve in our videos. But there are two sides of the coin. Basically, what this graph shows is the amount of viewers that dropped off at each point in our videos. So as you can see in the beginning, there's a really big drop off. A lot of viewers are leaving right here. Typically, you wanna aim for around 60%. That's a pretty decent drop off after 30 seconds. 60% after 30 seconds is not bad. It's not phenomenal. Like, some people aim for 70, but I usually just aim for 60. That's what I find works best. Most of my videos that have done well are around 62 to 63% after first 30 seconds. Your goal here is to stop people from leaving in the intro. So if you have an intro drop that's below 60%, like let's say maybe 50%, 40% of your viewers are staying after the first 30 seconds, that's not good because 40 to 50% of your viewers are leaving before they even watch the video. And the reason for that is an audience issue. Basically, your intro is not hitting, not resonating with your current audience. To fix that, you really have to do some audience research, understand their pain points, and then use an intro framework like this that you can copy and make sure that your intros are engaging. But the biggest thing is you just have to understand your audience, understand their pain points, understand what they want, and write an intro that is tailored towards that. So now that you've solved this intro problem, now that that's above 60%, you need to understand the rest of this graph because it's also very important. Now, what I want you to look for on the rest of this graph is basically any drops below 3% at one point in time. So as you'll see, the graph drops by 3 percentage points here. And that is a very bad thing to have happen because 3% of the audience is leaving at that point. There's definitely something that you did wrong. So you essentially want to analyze exactly what you did at that point. What I like to do is essentially go through, find all the 3% drops or more. If it's a 5% drop, that's even worse. So find all the 3% drops and then write down what I said. And then look and see if you can find any commonalities or if you can just identify anything that you did that might have turned the audience off. Now, that is a very important thing. If you do that on every single video, you are going to get way better. But on the flip side, you also have to understand this if you want to make your videos as good as humanly possible. You have to understand the up points as well. So if you find a period in your retention graph where you've gone up by 3 percentage points, that is also very powerful. I would do the exact same thing, write down exactly what you said during that 3% increase, and then see what it is that really hit with the audience, like analyze that. You have to do some critical thinking here and essentially think about what is it that I said that my audience connected with? And then in the future, do more of that. You want to double down on those things that really increase retention. Over the span of 100 videos, this is going to be the difference between your channel not really seeing any results and getting millions and millions of views, because you are essentially improving 1% every single video. And at the end of 100 videos, that means you've improved 100%. And those little 1% improvements make a huge difference.
But if your idea, CTR and AVD is good, then unfortunately, you might have a much more serious problem. And this can hold you back from getting views, even if you are doing everything right. But because most people don't even know about the silent killer of talented creators, it's no surprise that so many people fall victim to it. And to be honest, it even impacted me for years. Even though I was making great videos, I didn't understand it, and I would always wonder why the videos that I posted didn't get the views that they deserve. And I think we've all been there. I mean, we feel like we have created this masterpiece. The comments are even supportive, saying stuff like, you should have more subscribers, or this channel is so underrated. But for some reason, you just can't get the views that your videos deserve. If you have ever experienced this, it is not your fault. You simply have an external YouTube problem. Now, the first one of these is copyright claims. Now, not every video will have this, but even if a few of yours do, it could really be holding your channel back. Because when someone copyright strikes your videos, they take all of your ad revenue. And guess what? If YouTube isn't able to make money on your videos, they don't have a good reason to push them to new people. Anytime that you get a copyright strike, you should either re-edit the video or submit an appeal if you have the license to use that copyrighted content. And this is the exact same reason why you need to make sure that your AdSense in your YouTube settings is turned on. You do this by going into your videos, clicking on monetization, and making sure that ads are turned on your videos. YouTube likes if you run ads because if you don't, they don't make money. In fact, you should probably put more ads on your videos than you currently have. Every time you upload, make sure you manually review your ad placements to make sure that you have an ad once every 3 to 5 minutes. Now, you might think that's a lot, but YouTube actually doesn't show all of the ads on your video. It only shows a portion of them, so your viewers will not be bombarded with ads. That way, both you and YouTube start to make more money. And pro tip, if you drop an ad right before you give a key piece of information, a viewer is much more likely to sit through and watch them. But ads are only the first setting that silently kills small channels. And the best part is, after only clicking a few buttons in your YouTube settings, you could literally 5x your views. And I don't know why YouTube doesn't turn these settings off automatically. For one, you want to turn off automatic chapters. YouTube's AI is just not that good yet and will likely confuse the viewer, or just not do a good job at writing chapters. So if you're gonna do chapters, just do them yourself. 2, you want to turn off publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers, but only if you are making a video that is not similar to your normal content. Let's say on this channel, I have a video about business. My audience cares about growing on YouTube and they do not care about business, meaning they likely will not watch that video. If this box is checked, YouTube will push that video about business to my YouTube audience. So if you're posting a video that's a little bit out of line with your current audience, make sure that this is off. 3, you want to turn off automatic concepts. This is where YouTube tries to define complicated words for the viewer. And again, YouTube's AI is just not that great right now, so it's better to just leave it off than have YouTube accidentally confuse the viewers. And if something is that complicated that YouTube needs to use automatic concepts, it's better that you just explain it. Number 4, you want to go into all of your videos and make sure that they have an end screen. This is super important because YouTube counts the overall session time per video, meaning that if you send someone to any other video, whether that be your own or some random video on YouTube, YouTube will count that towards your total watch time from that initial video, meaning that you've kept someone on the platform longer and then YouTube makes more money. Therefore, they are more incentivized to push that video because YouTube is not about AVD, it's about total session time. So every video you post needs to have an end screen. But if you check off all of this and your video still isn't blowing up, then simply ask yourself, is there anything else I can learn from this? And if not, just move on to the next one. If you do this consistently, I can guarantee that your channel will start to grow. You will start to see 100 views per video turn into 1,000, eventually 10,000, 100,000, and finally millions, which will allow you to do what you love for a living, make videos that actually impact people, and develop a successful channel that you can feel proud of. But it all goes back to what Mr. Beast always says.
Everything you want as a creator comes from making the best videos possible and thumbnails.
And now that you have unfucked your channel, it's time to start focusing on making the best videos possible. And that's exactly why I made this free YouTube course with over 12 plus hours of content, going over everything that you need to know to take your channel from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in 2024. We show you everything that you need step by step to grow a massive channel completely for free. And we even have a whole module on storytelling that shows you exactly how to hook, retain, and turn your new viewers into subscribers. So watch this video here where I show you what you'll learn, how to get access, and how you can use the information inside to blow up on YouTube in 2024. Thanks and have a great day.